Hi everyone, it's Ashton, aka the Outspoken Oracle, and I'm back with another tarot reading for you. Um, Please keep in mind that tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. Please just think of me as your bestie here with a little bit of advice for you. As with any advice from your best friend, you take some, you leave some. Please use your own discernment and only take what resonates with you. So the message that I have today is you are not blameless. And I just feel like Spirit wants me to do a reading about the importance of you taking accountability for stuff in your life. But also with that, I am getting this message about using your past to frame your future and really assessing your past behaviors, your past actions, the past scenarios in your life, even like past times in which you might have been wronged, but you still have to take accountability for your part in the situation that happened with you. So yeah, the message that I have today is about you not being blameless. Let's see what the cards have to say. Angels, guides, ancestors, please assist me with this reading. Please help to give me some insight to the questions I seek answers to, protecting me from any negative entities that might try to interfere on this reading, give me false information. Please speak truth and honesty to me through the cards, give me insight of the highest good for everyone involved. And as always, thanks for showing up each and every day. Actually, before I pull these cards, y'all, if you like my style of reading, if you have been enjoying my channel, feel free to subscribe. If you want to, I would very much appreciate it. Also, I would very much appreciate any likes or comments you would like to leave. It really does help my channel to grow, and, you know, I'm kind of on a mission to do that. It would make me very happy. So if you are interested in like commenting, sharing, or subscribing, I would appreciate it so much. Thank you. Okay. All right, Spirit, what is the message you have for the collective in regards to them not being blameless? Holy Spirit, what is the message you have for the collective in regards to them not being blameless? Holy Spirit, what is the message you have for the collective in regards to them not being blameless? Oh, Spirit has a lot to say. Spirit, what is the message? Okay, you know what? Actually, I think what I'm going to do is just lay the cards out like this, because this is actually a lot, and I'm actually going to take okay, no, Spirit's telling me to take them all, except for this is going to be a different style of reading. This is going to be a setup that is not my typical setup, so like the meanings that I place on the cards are going to be different, but Spirit's telling me to go with it, and so we're going to go with it. All right. The Magician on the bottom of the deck. All right, so to start off this reading about you not being blameless, Holy Spirit's letting me know that in any situation that arises in your life, know that you have the ability to transform the situation into what it is that you want it to be. Whether it's good or bad, you take a part in a situation coming to pass. Whether it is you have negative thinking that then manifests into a bad situation, or you have positive thinking that manifests into a bad situation, or you trust your intuition or don't trust your intuition and then something happens, you are the purveyor of your life. You are the magician of your life. You are the one that allows for things to happen. You are the one that definitively creates the life around you. You wave your wand and the magic in your life, whether good or bad magic, happens. It's all on you. And so you need to be aware of just how you are manifesting certain things in certain scenarios in your life. And especially if certain things continue to come up in your life over and over again, then there's definitely something that you need to examine there. With the Six of Swords, yeah, certain scenarios coming up over and over again in your life. It's like a lot of times with you being the one that creates your life, you have the tendency to get stuck in the bad habits and karmic loops experiencing the same bad thing over and over again and choosing to stay in rough waters. And I know that a lot of times people are like, well, you can't just say that this is a choice. No, it is a choice. It's a choice because we all have the free will to change our cycles. Unfortunately, some of the karma that we exist happens before we are even born, and it's part of a karmic cycle of our families. However, with this Six of Swords in reverse, it's showing that like there have been times where you have sat down and analyzed, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I feel like I keep on experiencing this same lesson over and over again? Why can't I never get past this point in my life? Why can I never do this? Da, 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 da. Why does this, that, whatever? It is in those moments where you can assess that you see a repeated pattern in your life that you know is not great. When you choose to do nothing to change that pattern, you are essentially saying, I am okay with maintaining this pattern. You have a choice to change that. It's easy to shirk blame onto somebody else, but with the Six of Swords in reverse, it's very much showing that like you have the paddle to get yourself out of the waters that you're in, but you're choosing to stay paddling in the rough waters. You're choosing not to move on to something smoother. And that's that aspect of like you looking at your past to frame your future. If you're looking at your past and your past is the same thing over and over again, but you're not doing anything to change it, with you being the magician, then you are framing your future under the same storyline. But if you decide to make magic happen in a good way and change that, then the Six of Swords will be upright and you will be moving on to calmer waters. With this Two of Wands in reverse here, yeah, it's very much just like not... I'm getting the energy that's like you are making the choice to not pack your bags and go. You're making the choice to not pack your bags and leave the situation and see what is out there for you, to see what the world has to offer you beyond what you have already been experiencing over and over in life. And like, we all do this, or we all have done this up until a point. Some of us have gotten to the point where we're like, no more. And even on this journey of saying no more, we then discover other patterns in our life that we keep on repeating until it comes up. We may not see it, but then we can oftentimes look at storylines where these patterns have been repeated over and over again. But for so many people, they choose to continue to live in this karmic loop and choose not to actually see what is available to them because they're comfortable where they're at, or they're scared to make steps forward. But at the end of the day, you are the magician in your life, and you are the one that's capable of doing anything in terms of change in your life. With this Five of Wands in reverse here, it's like you need to recognize your own internal conflict that happens. It's so easy to place the blame on external stuff, but with this Five of Wands in reverse, it is all internal conflict that's keeping you where you're at. And sometimes the conflict is, well, I don't want to lose my friends. Well, I don't want to lose my family. Well, I don't want to lose my relationship. I don't want to lose my job. Again, it's the comfort there. You're afraid of losing stuff, not seeing that there's something so much better for you when you stop maintaining these same karmic loops, these same karmic patterns that you have been experiencing in your life. It's this internal conflict of what it is that you can lose, but you're unwilling to see what you actually have to gain by changing the way that you interact in the world. And you have to be brutally honest with yourself. And with brutal honesty, with this Queen of Cups here, comes a sense of self-love, comes a sense of self-nourishment, and it's about really getting to the heart of the matter and recognizing, does this feel good to me any longer? Does this feel nurturing to me any longer? Does this pattern feel loving to me any longer? What's a more loving path that I could take for myself? What's a way that I could show myself more love? What's the way that I could show the world around me more love? What's the way that I can harness my intuition to do what I know is right for me in this circumstance here and now? A lot of it is going back to your intuition. With this Queen of Cups, it is the most intuitive queen in the deck. But the Queen of Cups is heart-centered, and that's the reason why she doesn't use her head to make decisions. And a lot of times when people stay stuck in their lives and stuck in these karmic patterns, and it's because they're overthinking things. That's what the Six of Swords, it's all about. The swords are about thoughts. Whereas when you're using your heart, you're trusting your intuition. But you need to lead with love to find out how you can change your life into something better, something more beautiful for you, something that you can enjoy more, and something that's less choppy, I suppose. Yeah, with this Five of Cups, it's a lot of people like to play into their victimhood. And in society, a lot of people are like, oh, well, we can't victim blame. It's not victim blaming when people that have, you can be a victim of a circumstance, but at the same time recognizing that a circumstance happened to you. Remaining in victimhood is your choice. And in which case, if somebody calls you out about remaining in your own victimhood or remaining in a place where you know that doesn't make you happy, that's not victim blaming. That's just them being kind enough to bring attention to the reality of your situation. And so many people would rather sit and feel sorry for themselves and pout and mope and be sad about where their life is rather than take accountability for the role that they're playing in their own life. With this Queen of Pentacles here, it's very much giving me the energy that Spirit's like, you need to choose a stable life that is worthy of nurturing. Nobody wants to nurture a life that you feel in regret and you feel like you're the victim. It doesn't feel good. And yet a lot of people will unintentionally nurture this type of life because it's what they're used to. They have assigned themselves this victim mentality and they work with this label in their life. And sometimes the victim mentality can even just be like, and I'm going to use this for myself as an example. I have autism and ADHD, right? I'm late diagnosed autistic. I was diagnosed with ADHD, 17 years ago? For the longest time with my ADHD, I didn't look more into it. I didn't look about solutions to making it better, this, that, whatever. However, when I got the autism diagnosis, I did deep dive into autism, especially how autism and ADHD can interact with each other and how it works off of each other and things of that nature. And it was with that diagnosis that I actually started making big changes in my life because it framed a lot of my past experiences in my life and why certain interactions happened, why certain things happened with me in my life. And it gave more context to certain things I had experienced in my life. And instead of being like, oh, I feel so bad that people treated me this way. Oh, I feel so bad that I didn't get the social cue. Oh, I feel so bad because this, that, whatever. I was like, okay, well, I have masked in this way. I have learned how to interact socially in this way as a way before I even had my diagnosis. I'm good with people to a certain extent until I'm overwhelmed and then I just like fly off the handle. But like, I then recognized by looking at the frame of my past, how I could frame my future differently. And that's when I started to heal. And I honestly don't see any of my ADHD or my autism diagnoses as something that I should feel bad about or something I should feel the victim about, but I see it as a framework for which I can change my life to a more healed state to where I can feel better. I'm using it to nurture my life in a better way, something that to make a life that I feel like is worth nurturing. And I'm choosing not to stay in the victimhood of my diagnoses. I'm choosing to not look at the past and how I was treated for doing certain things, like getting super passionate about stuff and like just not shutting up when I got excited about things, like, and people making fun of me or not wanting to be my friend or whatever, this, that, whatever. Like, I'm not choosing to be a victim about that. I understand now more about why that was the case because I know myself better, but I'm not staying in victimhood. And instead I'm using the strengths that I've gotten because of who I am. And I'm creating a life that I feel like is worth nurturing. But you have to choose to not play the victim due to your circumstances in order to do life this way. Because otherwise, if you don't create a life that's more stable and solid and worth nurturing, what's going to happen is that you then will show up in a very inauthentic way when you play into your victimhood, right? You are then choosing to be inauthentic with who you truly are. And when I say who you truly are, I'm talking about at a soul level. When we are all born and created, we are created perfect. So the victim that you are choosing to play is inauthentic to the soul that you truly are. And so you have to get past the things of your past in order to shine brightly and be exactly who you are and who you're supposed to be and who God made you to be. You can't stay stuck, because when you stay stuck, you show up as this dull, inauthentic version of yourself. And a lot of times, truth be told, people will be around you, but they feel sorry for you. You don't want people being in your life to feel sorry for you, or they won't be around you. But at the end of the day, you're not shining in all your majesty. You're not shining in all your brightness that you can be. The Queen of Wands, when in good energy, is this bright shining star of a person. And by maintaining this victim mentality, maintaining to stay stuck in your past, choosing not to see the other options out there for you, you are being the dullest version of yourself. Yeah, with this Five of Swords in reverse, it's very much giving me the feeling like you have to make the active choice of moving past your own immaturity of how you have framed certain situations in your life, how you have framed your life. You have to take responsibility. By not taking responsibility, you are behaving in an immature manner. You are behaving in an unhealed manner. It's so easy to blame your circumstances. It's so easy to blame other people. But that means that you are not a mature person when you cannot see your responsibility to something. And I'm not saying if you got a diagnosis for something that it's your fault that you got the diagnosis. Like, I know that with my neurodivergence, it's not my fault that I have those diagnoses. Well, I mean, kind of is, because I went to the doctor to figure out what's wrong with me. But like, I would have still had that even if I had gotten the diagnosis or not. That's just who I am. Not saying that it's your fault that these things happen, but it's your responsibility with how you frame your life moving forward. And you're choosing to be irresponsible if you don't change your life once you realize what has happened, what's going on with you, and that you want things to be different. If you feel stuck and you want things to be different, then it's your responsibility to stop behaving immaturely by staying stuck in this karmic loop and this karmic cycle and move forward with life in a mature manner, in which case you can then take your life as a whole and assess it for what it is and then make changes. And when you do that, you will awaken to your true power. You awaken to who you truly are. You will awaken to what it is that you have to offer yourself and the world. You have so much potential to live in the light. You have so much potential to do great things. You have so much potential to, see brighter days ahead, but you have to take accountability and responsibility with how you move when you have information. And your life is full of information and full of lessons, and it's how you interpret that information and make decisions moving forward, whether or not those lessons actually are of value to you. And I will tell you, there are lessons that you have to learn that you won't be prepared to learn about yourself in your life until you learn certain lessons first. Unpacking all of the information and the things that have happened to your life is kind of like taking steps, up a spiral staircase. You you have to do one step first before you can get to the next step, because a lot of times there will be certain things that are hidden until you reach a certain level that you won't even know that's there, that you won't know that's existing. But the thing of it is that the more steps you take in a certain direction, the brighter you'll get, because you'll get closer to where the top floor is, which is closer to the sun. So you'll see the sun more clearly because you're taking one step at a time to get to exactly where you need to be. It doesn't have to be an overnight process, but it has to be an actual choice that you make, that you want to change, that you want to live a happier life, that you don't want to be stuck in this illusion of your life. You have to be willing to say no to the toxicity in your life and take accountability, especially, and not think that you are not to blame for the things that you did in your life that you actually know are bad. Right? Again, and some of you probably hate that I talk about myself, but I feel like sometimes you need to talk about yourself to give examples for people to understand. For me, I know that, like, yes, I have ADHD and autism. I also know that it comes with certain behaviors that other people deem to be inappropriate. But I also know that, like, where I am at now, because of my masking, I am a lot more aware of certain behaviors that other people might deem to be inappropriate. And so I try my best to not do those behaviors, to not be deemed inappropriate. And I recognize how certain behaviors can hurt people. I will say that there are times when I am overwhelmed and I'm about to shut down or melt down, that, like, I can't handle those things, and I will return to factory settings. And in which case, those situations, I give myself grace, because I know that, like, that's literally, my brain is in overdrive. But when I am regulated and normal, if I intentionally choose to behave in ways that I know that are not kind to other people, and then I say, well, I'm ADHD and I'm autistic, then that is me choosing to actively be toxic. There's a difference between me returning to factory settings because I'm overwhelmed and me knowing what's right and still doing it either way. But me having more information about who I am and my diagnosis, I'm able to see more clearly why I interact in certain ways. But, like, you have to actively choose to get rid of the toxicity in your life. And the more you heal and the more you take accountability, the easier it is that you're going to be able to get rid of the toxicity in your life, because you want to live in a more clear and balanced state. It's going to be a more of a desire. Taking accountability sometimes can be painful, but ultimately it leads you to a happier state of being. Sometimes taking accountability can come with a lot of shame. But the thing of it is, with shame, it's like, if you put a name to it and you acknowledge what you've done, then the shame will eventually fade and go away, and you can move on and you can be happier because you know that you won't be participating in those things anymore. That's too many cards, Spirit. So you just have to be very aware, and you have to be willing to let go of the toxicity in your life, because you recognize that the toxicity is what's keeping you unhappy. You have the potential to be a whole freaking sun here and be, like, the brightest thing. But if you choose to stay toxic, you are actively choosing to stay unhappy. With you being the magician, again, you are capable of transforming any situation into what it is that you want. With this Page of Cups here, it's like there are good things right around the corner. Like, you have so much that's waiting for you. It's like, I'm getting, like, good news after good news after good news after good news. You get to different levels, and then new good things are unveiled to you. The universe, God, is waiting to unveil all these good things to you, but you have to be open to doing the work and taking accountability for your part in your life to receive this good news. The good news doesn't just happen because you exist. The good news happens, the more good news happens, the more you are willing to actually be aware of who you are in your life and how you have behaved in your past and how you're choosing to move forward. Oh, I love it. Like I said, lots of good news. This 10 of Pentacles, this is like good news, tangible good news that you can put your finger on. And sometimes a tangible good news that you can put your finger on is just being happier, just being more clear, just being more regulated in your life. But with this 10 of Pentacles, it's also telling me like your abundance monetarily will increase when you do these things. Your abundance with the people in your life, because you'll have better relationships with these things. It's like you're building to your future when you do these things. There's lots of good news that's coming. And with this 10 of Pentacles, it's going to be tangible, where you can point to people around you and be like, I did this level of healing and this is what showed up in my life. You will be able to say, this is what happened when I got from this level to healing to this level of healing, this level of healing. But you have to not be scared of what you're learning along the way. You have to not be apprehensive about the fact that like you are approaching things with new insights, with a new version of, you're becoming a new version of yourself. You have to not be scared of what happens when these new things are uncovered. You have to not be scared sometimes when the lesson peeks its head through a little bit, because God is trying to test you to see if you learned your lesson, and you and try not to recoil back into the old version of yourself when these things peek out. You have to be willing to be brave about your next steps, and take life as like with beginner's eyes as you are unlearning and maturing past your old behaviors that you were taking accountability for. And in this process with this High Priestess, you will have a growth of intuitive knowing. This Queen of Cups is right here, and it doesn't surprise me the High Priestess underneath her. Your inner knowing, your intuitiveness will increase as you start to move past certain things and you do more healing and you start to transform. You will know the next steps for you to take, or things will be unveiled to you about lessons that you have to learn about certain karmic loops in your life, or just situations will happen and you'll know instinctively what to do in them because of all of this maturity that you are experiencing in your life. You're unlocking new levels of your inner knowing, and that's a really good thing. This Four of Pentacles, it's like you're letting go of what it is that you thought you knew about who you are and what your life should be and all these things, and you're just letting life happen and life flow. You don't hold on to these ideas and these beliefs of how things should be, and instead you allow the Holy Spirit to show you how to move throughout your life. And by letting go and surrendering what you once had, then more magic can happen. You are creating more magic in your life. Again, it's the step-by-step process with this Page of Pentacles. You're walking up a spiral staircase. It is something that builds on each step. You build and you build and you build and you build. Your intuition will get so keen at one point when you are taking accountability for your past, seeing how past patterns used to happen. Certain things won't happen anymore, and when they're about to happen, you'll know. Part of your intuitive knowing, honestly, is just recognizing the pattern. It's not even like, oh, I'm a little bit psychic, which we all have psychic abilities, honestly, but it's not even about you being a little bit psychic. It's literally just about you recognizing past patterns and knowing that certain things are going to happen. But it's a slow build for you to get to this place, but it's something that's worth it because you are learning what you need to progress into your future. But again, with this being a page, you need to have beginner's eyes with each new lesson and each new step that you're taking on your path. And with this Fool here, you very much have to have faith that everything that you are doing and learning and releasing is going to lead you to bigger and greater things. Don't forget, even though the sun is hidden, the sun's here, right here. You are on the path to having a sunny, sunny life. But you have to just let go and release and surrender to life. Take that leap of faith with every new step, everything that's revealed to you when your intuition kicks in that you need to do a certain thing. Take that leap of faith in that direction. Don't question it. Don't hold on to what you think you know, and instead just have faith, and things will work out exactly how they're supposed to work out for you. Yeah, with this Wheel of Fortune, all in divine timing. God is in control of everything, right? We have our free will. Yes, free will is there for us to have, but our free will honestly, if we choose to do things our way and choose to follow our free will about how we live our life, we will prolong access to the things that are meant for us. So by taking a leap of faith and releasing what it is that you think you know or you think you need, this, that, whatever, and trusting divine timing, trusting God, trusting the timing of your life, then you will get exactly everything that you need. Your life will be bright and shiny, and you'll have this 10 of Pentacles that you can show the world, this is what I have, this is what I've created. But you have to move past your immaturity. You have to take accountability for the ways that you have behaved in your life that have gotten you to a place where you're no longer comfortable and you're ready to move on to calmer waters. And a lot of that is literally just a faith thing and trusting God, that God is leading you exactly where you need to be. With this moon in reverse, I'm very much getting that a big part of looking into your past to frame your future means examining the emotions that you repressed and letting them flow through you. Letting yourself experience all those repressed emotions. Let them come to the surface. Let them be experienced. Let yourself feel them, even if they're painful, so that moving forward in the future, you won't have all this negativity from your past that kept you feeling stuck to impact your bright, sunny future. Because with this Knight of Cups here, your future is full of love. Knight of Cups oftentimes is romantic love. So for some of you guys, this is a change in your romantic dynamic with your partner. Some of you guys, this is new love. But for some of you guys, this is just self-love. Actually, all of you guys, this is self-love. Not some. All of you guys, this is self-love. Those other things are also there. But for other things, it's just like love of the community around you. Love of people, just seeing love everywhere you go. It's like you're gonna see how love shows up in your life on a daily basis, whether it's just seeing like some animals that are like, I've been seeing these geese with their like little baby, like their geeslings. Is that what they're called? Gooselings? I don't know. The baby chicks. I've been seeing them walk around with their babies, and I'm like, that's love right there. Even though they keep on trying to attack me when I see them. That's too many cards. I know that that's love because, you know, the parents, and by the way, geese, they mate for life. The parents are like, don't touch our kids. Yeah, with this Three of Cups, it's very much like your relationships will get better. Your relationships will blossom, where your relationships are going to be very fulfilling in your life. And it's going to feel more, everything is going to, like the connectedness is going to feel more loving with everything in your life once you can get past your past. Once you can take accountability for your actions of your past and how you have helped to get yourself to the place, regardless of if things have happened that have made you a victim, you are then choosing to stay in victimhood, and you have to move past that, you know? And you will get to this place where then life becomes nothing but love. It's funny that this reading is ending on a tower, because a lot of times with these towers, it's like not a good sign, right? But I'm picking up that like this tower is just a shock to your system with how good things start to get once you actually start to transform things and you actually start to recognize that you are not blameless for the things that have happened in your life, and that you need to take accountability for your life in order to change your life. You will be so shocked with how good things can get. You'll be so shocked with how things can change in your life, and life will start to get really, really good for you. I'm going to end this reading with a spirit animal card for you. Y'all, I thank you guys so much for rocking with me in this reading. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that shows up. Again, if you like this reading and you're still here with me, feel free to hit that like, share, subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it. All right, Spirit. Spirit Animal Oracle card for me, please, for the collective. Wasp Spirit, sometimes life stings, number 64. Oracle message. Not all that Spirit creates in nature is easy to love, but when we look through the eyes of a wasp spirit, we recognize that even though sometimes life stings, there is a purpose for pain, just as there is a purpose for wasps in the natural world. Wasps keep insect populations down, supporting the growth of plants. So too, the sting of life may hurt, and you may feel deeply disappointed or even resentful that wasp spirit has shown up. But you will soon come to see that Spirit has something wonderful in store for you. You may well come to realize that being stung led to something far better than you had envisioned for yourself. Perhaps behind the scenes, Wasp Spirit was conspiring with Spirit to ensure that you could grow something of value to you. Spirit has a plan, and Wasp Spirit plays a part. Have you ever looked back and been glad your prayers weren't answered because the path you took led to something far better? Wasp Spirit is a reminder to reflect on those times, for today's sting may hurt, but something better awaits you. Protection message. Are you holding on to anger, jealousy, or resentment because you got stung? Or could you have just stung yourself by comparing yourself to others? There will always be someone else who is more successful, happier, thinner, richer, etc. Jealousy is the false belief that you can't have what you want, or someone could take away something that was supposed to be yours. Let it go and release all those feelings that are making the sting hurt long after the stinger has been removed. Wasp Spirit has woken you up, and now you are called to trust that disappointment can lead you to a different and better path. Align with Spirit now and trust that this too shall pass, and is already doing so, for the pain subsides when you stop telling the story of how much it hurts. Pain subsides when you stop telling the story of how much it hurts. That's very much about, moving past this victimhood that I was talking about. Things can happen that hurt you in life, but you move past that and you'll see how great your life can get when you choose to focus on the pain of life, when you choose to stay stuck in this mentality and let these karmic loops continue to play out in your life. Then you are not allowing Wasp Spirit, or Spirit just in general, Holy Spirit, to move you into a great life. You need to let the lessons happen from being hurt, and then move on and create something beautiful out of it. Again, thank you so much for rocking with me today. This is the message that I have for you guys. I so appreciate you guys so much. Please never forget just how divine you are.